Hey folks, in this quick video I'm going to give you a short intro to the new version 4.6 of the alert software and specifically talk about the new algo, the ES 20-minute trader, and show you how that's going to operate. And what we're going to be doing is starting to get everybody set up with the desktop alert software and the update. You'll have the instructions on how to do it real simple. You don't have to uninstall anything. You basically just pull down the update file, run it, and boom, you're updated, right? And if you're one of the Ninja indicator users, you'll need to update that as well. But we'll have all the full instructions. In this video, I just want to go over this new ES 20-minute trader. We're going to start off with the algo for the ES, which you can also trade the new micro, the MES, right? So either one. If you're a new trader, I definitely recommend you start off with the micro. Work your way up to the regular size contract. And there'll be some additional changes, but we'll be covering those the following week when we do a live training. We'll get into all that, but into this video we're going to cover the 20-minute trader. So let me tell you a little bit about how I came up with the concept and what it's about. A few years back, I had a friend of mine send me a video of that he came across where somebody had come up with this secret magic formula that basically could pinpoint the exact minute the market was supposed to change and direction. And basically the story was that he had, there was some entity, secret entity that controlled the markets, and he discovered their secret, a bunch of hooey basically. But later it got me thinking, like 6 months later, it got me thinking, I wonder if there is some kind of rhythm to the markets, a timed rhythm. So I actually developed a bunch of analysis software to analyze that, and I analyzed minute charts, I analyzed volume charts, I analyzed range charts, and I used pivot highs and pivot lows, and basically ran a whole series of back tests over 10 years of data, and lo and behold, I found that there is a timed rhythm in the markets, okay? And this has nothing to do with anybody controlling the market. This is probably just a natural rhythm. But the natural rhythm is between 18 and 24 minutes. All right. And what we get then is we get increased directional price movement in that range. So what that means is, let's say in a 30-minute period, we're being able to narrow down a 10-minute period then where we would see the action occur. Now, what I did then is I created a special micro algo that works on a really fine-tuned, like a micro level, and it works right in that range of between 18 and 24 minutes. Now, according to my analysis and research, I found that most of the breakouts occurred 2 to 3 minutes after that window started. So that puts us at right around 20 minutes. So what I did is I created a new algo that I call it the micro range trading at 20-minute intervals. That means that every 20 minutes on the dot, on the clock, a new range is going to get set up. And because of this natural rhythm that occurs between like 18 and 24 minutes, we're going to be able to catch nice moves in the intraday session. And it's one of those things, it's a natural ebb and flow of the markets. I don't think anybody's like controlling the markets or anything, but it just works great. And this opens up all new possibilities of tighter stops all right, so the three big advantages to this new 20-minute algo are it gets us to focus in on the periods of higher probability action, because we narrowed it down to that 18 to 24 minute slot. We get to trade at the micro precision level. We can have tighter stops and get more precision entries, get the trades moving in our favor quickly. And the greatest, and I think the coolest thing about this whole new algo is you can set your trading activity to the clock. So that means you can, on your smartphone, you can have a 20-minute timer. You take a trade, you complete it. You got 15 minutes before the next trade comes through. You run off to the kitchen. You go, take care of some business, whatever you have to do, and you know exactly when to come back and sit down for the next trade setup. And it's a kind of a revolutionary thing. I don't know anybody else has this kind of a concept, and it really works great. Imagine that then you're not glued to the screen all day long just waiting for the next setup. When you get set up with the new 4.6 version, you'll see the version number up here at the top. In order to turn on the new 20-minute trader, you can go into the settings screen here, and you'll see over here on the right 20-minute micro, and there's only available for the ES right now. If this is popular and takes off, we're going to go ahead and develop it for the other symbols, but we're going to go ahead and turn that on. And then you can see here is the basic screen for the ES 20-minute channel. Alright, so you can see that the ES-20 channel, we have a countdown timer, and the countdown timer, we're just under 2 minutes now till the next micro range on the dynamic trigger range is going to get generated. So we'll just wait for that to occur here. Alright, so we're just under 10 seconds now till the next alert gets generated.
PowerEmini trade alert.
Alright, so you can see that a new dynamic trigger range has been created. The range high is 69.50 and the low is 67.25. You can see that the countdown timer is telling you the next trade alert, 19 minutes. So basically you can work with the current setup, and then when that trade is complete, you know based on the timer when to come back and look for the next trade setup. All right, so we're going to move this out of the way, and we're going to watch the follow through on this trade here, or on this trade setup. Now we're looking at a 20-second chart, which I've detailed out in one of my training videos, one of the recent training videos. And if you don't have a 20-second chart, if you can't get down to seconds, you can trade off of a minute chart. But if you don't have a 20-second chart, you can use a 15-second chart. You can use a 30-second chart. You're right in that ballpark there. I'm going to show you how basically to work with the new micro range here. So obviously we're looking for a breakout, and the neat thing about the new micro ranges is we don't have to worry too much about the direction, because the micro ranges know the direction. Like if this thing says go long, you try to play long. If we break out short, you try to play short. Alright, so what we're doing is we're looking for a breakout. As long as we're in the middle, we do not do anything. We're in a noise area. Now in this example, you can see how we broke out really forcefully, big quick pop out of the range, and basically want to look for a pullback towards the range when we get this, or at least a little bit of a sideways consolidation. Now again, this is a 20-second chart. Now here's what we're going to do. We're going to put a horizontal line on here, and we want to monitor a 2-bar range for an entry here. Alright, so we're just going to watch this play out now. So you can see this bar here, we've got 2 bars. We're going to drag our line down, and that is our 2-bar range. Now I've just got like kind of a basic one-to-one stop setup, 2-point stop. We're going to go for a 2-point target just to kind of show you how you can play off of these micro ranges. All right. So again, we've got a 2-bar range here, waiting for this bar to finish. All right, there's our 2-bar high, and again, we're just going to look for like a 1-tick penetration of that, and we're going to go for it. Now, if you're a user of the Ninja indicator on the chart, you see this little green dot. that is a potential momentum signal that we might get a continuation move now. And so here's our 2-bar range and see how we've penetrated it there. We're going to go ahead and take an entry. We'll just
Order pending.
This is an entry at the bid. You can go in at the ask. You can just go in by the market, but we'll see if we can get a fill. All right, we're in
Order canceled. Order filled.
at market. Now, you can see how our stop is. This is a nice technical stop because it is. Notice how it's back within the range, and we're outside of the range, and it is below the last little pivot, the one where we had the little signal there. So now we can just let this trade play out. All right, at this point we can be tightening our stop a little bit because we could be pulling it up under, the last 3 bars or so. And what we're doing is we're looking for 3 higher lows above our entry, and then we can go to break even. So we're almost on our 3rd bar there. All right, and I actually had an ATM auto move there. Do it, and we're just ready to
Target filled.
take out the target. Okay, so you can see there was a real simple way to work off these new micro ranges, and we got basically this one we broke out real forcefully on high volume. This was like a little news spike or whatever, and but we quickly faded back, and then you can see we waited for the pullback, and we used a 2-bar high range, and basically that got us in right in this area here. Okay, and now we're getting, basically that was a pullback towards the top of the range, and then we're getting a bounce and a trend continuation now. Now the thing to think about with these dynamic trigger ranges, they can be good, these micro ranges, they can be good for quick scalp trades, but they can also get you into bigger, longer term runners because you got to think about it this way. The micro ranges now are picking off the real current momentum as it just begins. So you could, in fact, if you held a runner, you could, in fact, trail and hang on for much bigger moves. All right. Now, the way this is going to work then is, see, you could be done with your trade and go off and do something else, because if you take a look here, next trade alert is in 5 minutes, right? So it's 5 minutes. So you can look at the clock or set your alarm on your smartphone and run off and go take care of something if you wanted to. Or make a telephone call, and you got a little countdown timer there on when the next trade alert comes.
PowerEmini trade alert.
All right, so we got a new alert now, and I'll move the software out of the way. We got a real spiky market. So you can see today that we're spiking up and around the dynamic trigger range, but we're on a 20-second chart, so we're going to use a 2-bar range before we consider an entry. Now you're going to notice that there's a vertical line. If you're a Ninja user, there's going to be a vertical line that prints, and I would, if you're just using some other charting platform, when you get your alert, I would just plop a vertical line in there. That's a good reference point because you're going to play into one of the 2 quadrants, either to the upside or to the downside. All right, so you can see price made an initial move to the upside here. We're kind of threatening to go to the upside, and we're looking for a 2-bar high to play. All right, so we got that. And we'd be watching to play a break above that level there.
Order pending. Order filled.
All right, so we got an entry, and we're looking again. We got a big spike move here in this example. We had a real spiky day first thing in the morning today, and so we pulled back, and then we're trying to rebound there. All right, so price is making a move to the upside. Now again, you can protect a 3-bar low, and what you want to do is you want to kind of eyeball the center of your dynamic trigger range, because that's kind of a do or die zone. If price makes a move outside the range and then comes all the way back in and crosses the middle, you might as well just cash out and get set up for another trade. So we've got two higher lows than our entry, and we're looking for a third, and we just came down and touched. Now if we go on and make, there we go. Now I would go and move to break even, and we either win or lose. Remember, at any point, folks, if you're watching your price ladder and price doesn't seem to be wanting to take you out, you can just hit the close button and lock in whatever profits. Okay, but we are at a break-even level here, so no lose situation.
Target filled.
All right, so you can see in this last example, we took a little scalp trade here, and then we got a pullback to the top of the dynamic trigger range again, and then we broke out again, and you can see we got a much bigger run there, about 8 points so far. All right, and we're just about 2 minutes from the next alert to go out to get regenerated. So this just shows you, you can get much bigger follow through than just a few points on these breakouts.
PowerEmini trade alert.
All right, so we have a new dynamic trigger range that has been generated based on the 20-minute timer. And again, we've got upward motion in the markets today, and the price has gone parabolic several times on big pushes. So again, you can play the dynamic trigger range whichever way price breaks out. We many times we'll see a market make big parabolic moves early on in the session, and then do a turn to the downside, and so there could be good shorting possibilities there. All right, so we got a break to the downside on this dynamic trigger range. And again, I'm on a 20-second chart. I'm just going to look for a 2-bar range to play off of. And one of the reasons that we do that, there we go, now we're getting a little momentum signal on the Ninja script. But again, any charts you're using, Sierra charts, TradeStation, Thinkorswim, you just plot your horizontal line and look for a little 2-bar range that poke out the of the dynamic trigger range to play off of. All right, I'm in.
Order pending. Order filled.
And notice how the stop is outside like the last 4 bars now, and it's back inside the range. Now, one thing, what we're looking at today here is a wider range day. We're getting spiky moves and bigger ATRs today. So you'll have micro ranges that are much narrower than this one that you see here. And another thing to think about now is just because we're dealing with this new micro range, all right, so we went to break even,
Target filled.
and there we took out 2 points, all right? So that's how it's done. Now, just a word, a dull market is a dull market, and practically nothing works in a dull market. So don't think this is some miracle thing that, if the market's flatlining. Now, you will see in slow markets, we still get follow through, right? We get price drift. And so you'll still be able to play off the micro ranges here. However, in a totally flatlining low volume market that's very spiky, that goes back and forth and erratic, you could get triggered in and you get price moves back against you. So, active markets, this thing works like a charm. Slow markets, you can still catch, moves. Super dull markets, low volume, no traction, practically nothing works. So this is our alert software, a state-of-the-art alert software. It's desktop alert software. It's platform independent, which means it doesn't matter if you're in TradeStation, Thinkorswim, Ninja, it doesn't matter. You can install this. It's its own software. You're going to get all the alerts, targets, trailing stops, that kind of thing. All right, and so, sign up today, start trading tomorrow. It's $99 a month to start. There's no long-term, agreements or anything like that. You sign up for a month. If you like it, you stick around. If not, you can cancel and you not build again. Ninja Trader users get the on-chart companion indicator at no extra charge, included with the regular membership.